This is paper one in front of us, May, June 23. We're talking about paper one. This is paper of May, June 23 and paper 1-2, variant 1-2. Let's see. The first question is define the term demand. Demand refers to the quantity that consumers are willing and able to buy. 2 out of 2 in this perfect definition. Explain one factor that influences the supply of the product. Supply refers to the quantity that a producer is willing and able to produce for a given price. A factor that influences supply of product would be the cost of production. The manufacturer of designer bags would buy expensive leather to create high-end uh, bags, which would result in low supply since the supply curve shift to the left. थोड़ा सा economics का बच्चा नजर आ रहा है मुझे यहाँ बीच में, लेकिन चलो good scene. 3 out of 3. Define the term factor of production. Factor of production are the resources needed to produce goods and services that consumer want. The factor of production are land, labor, capital, and enterprise. Perfect. 2 out of 2. Explain one stage of the transformational process. Transformation process is the activity or a group of activities that transforms one or more of the inputs, adds value to it, and produce output for customers. One stage of transformation process, selecting the right quantity of inputs to be used in production. A business would use fresh milk and efficient machinery in the production of butter to add value to it and sell at higher price. Perfect. 3 out of 3. Define the term equality. Equality is the practice and process aimed achieving the fair organization where everyone is treated equally regardless of the gender, religion, race, and has the opportunity to fulfill their potential. Perfect. 2 out of 2. Explain one benefit of a business employing a diversified workforce. A diversified workforce would be one in which the employees of different nationalities, gender, and religion work together under one organization. This can help business easily recruit more talented people from around the world because employees would prefer work for organizations that do not discriminate. For example, service business that provides technical support for customers can easily employ skilled IT experts of of different colors hona chahiye, and different religion. Okay, to boost the sales. Perfect. 3 out of 3. Shabash. Let's talk about the 5 marks question. 1, 2, 2. 1 for knowledge, 2 for analysis, and 2 for application. Let's see. Analyze one way in which conflict between the stakeholders may affect the business. Stakeholders are the individuals or groups who can be directly affected by and have an interest in the activities and decisions taken by an organization. The workforce of someone again may demand can increase in their
Sir,
salary.
Pepsi.
Salaries of 5%, and if they get this objective, the director would be affected by this. They would want to keep costs as low as possible so that the shareholders get high dividends, which would result in them voting for them. Some directors next to your AGM, the directors may refuse to increase the salary, which would affect the lead time of Pepsi delivering the drink to the customer. If the employees go on the strike, the market share of Pepsi may be threatened by the Coca-Cola, by its direct competitor Coca-Cola, and they may lose a significant amount of the revenue and the brand image. This answer could have been a little more simplified. थोड़ा सा complexity इसमें है. You will get 4 out of, वैसे the application is there, analysis there, you will get 4 out of 5 in that. Let's talk about the section B. 8 number का सवाल 2 to 4 knowledge, application, and analysis. 4 marks for the analysis. Let's see whether we have produced that or not. Analyze 2 benefits to a business of government grants as a source of finance. Okay. Government grants are the capital issued by the government to new businesses who have great potential to be successful but lack the support to do so. ठीक है. Good scene. Government grants can be in the form of money providing a place for research and development or giving a trained workforce. The biggest advantage in that these do not to be repaid by the business, which makes it more desirable source of finance as compared to the loans or overdraft. The business can start the operations by being debt free and they won't have to worry about the paying the liabilities. For example, an entrepreneur may propose idea of the school for disabled people and the government may, this is a very good application, and government may like this because there aren't any um their area and the new school and something improve living standards. Okay, will improve living standards. The entrepreneurs can acquire, let me make it a little larger. Okay, the entrepreneurs require the permanent source of finance without increasing the his liability or expense such as interest. This would increase the profits and retained earning to be invested back into the business. Okay. Another advantage can be that they can be government grants to invest into the new technology to improve the business efficiency. The new school can invest in the R&D of the new glasses that would be used to blind people. थोड़ा सा अगर इतना ज्यादा आप जाहिर है इसको सोशल कर रही हैं तो फिर जस्ट राइट के बिजनेस जो है वो सोशल एंटरप्राइज है. So this will improve your knowledge marks in this. The creation of the new technologies with the help of research and development finance with the government grants can improve the school image and the reputation. The families would be willing to pay higher fee to get an admission, which increase the revenue and the profit. They would be able to create more jobs and change high and charge high fee due to the increasing demand. Nothing from the profit would need to be paid back, and there can be use of retained profit. Okay, this is a good analysis. थोड़ी सी repetition have paying back in the second analysis. You will get 7 out of that. ये थोड़ा सा और बेहतर हो सकता था इस repetition से avoid करके, और हम 8 out of 8 भी ले सकते थे इसमें. Let's see the 12 marks question. Evaluate whether most likely reason for the failure of the small retailer is the poor management of the working capital. Working capital is the measure of liquidity and the amount of business has to pay its day-to-day expenses. It is calculated by subtracting current liabilities from the current assets in a given time period. This is a good show of knowledge. Shabash. Business failure when they are close down their operations because they do not have enough revenue to cover all the costs and invest in the business. Good start. A small retailer should efficiently manage their cash flows and working capital in order to pay the small miscellaneous expenses. They should have an accurate record of the amount that is owed to the supplier of the clothes and detailed summary of the customers who brought their clothes. If they do not, this is a good show of knowledge again to show that you know what working capital management is. Shabash. If they do not have an accurate cash flow and do not pay attention to maintain adequate amount of working capital, the payments to the suppliers may be delayed, which could have a negative impact on the business relations and result in supplier stopping the trade with the retailer. Hmm. Poor management of working capital would also result in the late payments to retail clerks, which may increase labor turnover and they may find it difficult to recruit specially skilled staff. Good, shabash. अगर ये आखिरी sentence नहीं भी होता तो the analysis was complete. However, even though the management of the working capital is important, but there can be other reasons of failure of retail shops. The marketing tactics may prove to be ineffective, which does not make customers aware of the type of clothing that they. बिल्कुल सही evaluation, shabash. It is also important to consider which seasons clothing they have, because the retail shop that's selling the sweaters and jackets during the summers would see a reduction in the sales due to the low demand. A very good application in the evaluation. This needs to take into account the price of competitor shirt and blouse. If the something if the changes for the clothing, hence the more than the competitor, then they may see a fall in the demand and low sales. All things being considered, it's important to have good management of the working capital because inventory of the clothing items need to be stored in the warehouse and payments to the supplier should be made on time. However, the failure of small retail shops can also be due to the more established business using predatory pricing to drive the retailers out of the market. The competitors may be in the retail industry for longer and they would have loyal customer base. They can use their past retained profit to cover for the period of loss because changing low prices. Even if the new retailer uses penetration pricing, consumers would prefer the low prices of the competitors because they may have good brand image. This concludes that although poor management can be cause of the failure of the retail shop, it's not the most likely reason, as other factor may be a greater effect. Okay, talking about this specific question, you have done one analysis only, although this is a detailed analysis, very detailed analysis, but this will be considered one analysis only. You have done one evaluation separately, or लेकिन वो it would be covered because the final evaluation that you have done is detailed और उसमें आपने बिल्कुल बता दिया बाकी factors के बारे में. So much of the marks won't be deducted from the evaluation, but you will be unable to score one further analysis marks. You will be score only one analysis marks in this. So your total marks will end up by 10 out of 12, in which you will get 1 out of 2 in analysis, 5 out of 6 in evaluation, and rest of the things knowledge में पूरे और application में भी पूरे ही मिलेंगे. Overall, it was a good paper. Shabash.